So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I am joined by the band Sykofant. They're a progressive rock band from Oslo, Norway, and I have two members of the band here joining me, and we're going to talk about, obviously, progressive rock and their latest EP that they put out just a few months ago called Red Sun. So first of all, guys, how are you tonight in Oslo?
Yeah, good, thank you.
We're good, yeah. Thank you. And thank you for having us.
It's a Saturday here. It's sunny, so the spring is has made its arrival. So yeah, I think like most Norwegians are in a quite a good mood. As it's been a long winter.
I would imagine so. So tell us, obviously, your name and what you do in the band.
Yeah, do you want to go?
Well, my name is Sindre, and I play the bass in the band. And
yeah, and my name is Melvin, and I'm the drummer.
Nice. So I've been to Oslo, Norway. I went to back like 9 years ago. It's a pretty cool town. The most expensive hamburger I've had in my life.
Right.
Norway.
I can imagine, yeah.
Do you remember what the burger place was called?
I remember it was also very good. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was the train station or there was a station where I got there, and it was like a bar, and you would order the burger and then you would go get it. I can't remember the name. This was in 2016, but it was a very good. It was a bit like, I don't know if you guys are fans of Pulp Fiction, but
yeah,
Jackson say, I like the taste of a tasty burger, and that was a tasty burger.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
But I can't remember the name. It's been 9 years.
Yeah.
Did you order a Hawaiian burger?
Oh my God, you're making me think, man. I don't think a Hawaiian hamburger would have like pineapple, right?
Right. Yeah.
No, man.
You're not a fan.
I'm not gonna order anything with pineapple. I don't like pineapple on pizzas. I don't like pineapple in my meat. Just on drinks, in a piña colada, if you will.
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, but not that. So, but it was a great burger. It's a great country, but damn it, it's expensive.
It is, but I think now it's quite a good time to visit Norway because the Norwegian currency is quite low.
Okay.
So I think it's better now than it was in 2016.
Probably because I remember I went to a place near like the docks where there was a place to eat, like I think like fish and different stuff. And I think I spent like $130 on appetizers alone.
Oh wow!
I didn't. And they're like, you want to order like a main thing? I'm like, no. Like, no, I do not. But yeah. So you guys, you put out this EP, but last year you had an album, a self-titled release. So I was wondering, were these songs that you had for that album and you couldn't finish them and you left out for this EP, or was this a different recording process?
No, well, I guess it was the day before we went into the studio to record our debut album. Then Emil, the guitarist and singer of the band, he, instead of actually practicing the last night before entering the studio to record the album, he spent the night before just writing a sketch for the intro for the first song on the new EP. So it was everything was written after the album was done.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like B-sides or things we had left over. It's something we just wanted to continue from there.
Right. Some of the early sketches were already written, but they were never meant for the actual album. So they were always meant for something that we were planning to release later on. So yeah. So it was they were kind of written and recorded like after each other.
Okay. And you know, when I was listening to your music, I thought of like a more modern Pink Floyd type of.
Right.
I don't know if that's what you were going for or if that's a musical influence. So yeah, so that was my next question. Like what, because you got such a progressive rock sound, like which bands like influenced you guys when you were starting?
Yeah. I think a Pink Floyd reference is very fair to say.
Also like Rush, Led Zeppelin, all of the classics, but also we have a lot of more modern also influences like Opeth and Porcupine Tree. Yeah, very, very many different. Well, all of those are progressive, progressive rock and metal bands, but we also listen to all sorts of music outside of progressive rock as well. So I guess we didn't have like a specific like we wanted to become the modern Pink Floyd, but obviously we're huge fans of Pink Floyd. So that
I think also we do come from quite separate musical backgrounds. So in terms of songwriting, I guess we have very shared influences, but in terms of maybe style of playing, we're kind of from a bit different background. So I think we've kind of tried to mix all of our influences together and made it something that hopefully sound as our own, but still that can still evoke these references from early 70s progressive rock bands. Yeah,
no, I think you captured that. And tell us a little bit about how you guys got together as a band.
Yeah, so I met Emil, our singer, guitarist at the University of Oslo, and that was 6 years ago now. And he had been playing with Per, the other guitarist. They had been playing together in a thrash metal band before that. And I met Emil, and he was coming to class, and he was wearing like a guitar in his back. And then we started talking, and I mentioned that I play drums. I didn't currently have a band, and he and Per are just starting writing some music because they wanted to make something more something that wasn't thrash metal, but maybe a bit softer
and more explorative, maybe
more explorative,
freeform.
Yeah. So I joined them, and this was just before the pandemic. So we had a few rehearsals and then quite a long break. And me and Sindre, we went to high school together. So so I knew Sindre from before, and I knew that he was a good bass player. So I pitched Sindre to join the band. I think that was like 6 months later.
Yeah, so it's like around the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
So it was still in the lockdown period, you could say, but it was like a bit on and off. I'm not sure how it was in Puerto Rico, but here in Oslo, it was like first a full lockdown, and then it opened a bit, and then it locked down further, and then so this was a small period where it was actually possible to meet up, and then we had like this cohorts you can maximally meet like 5 people. So then we naturally chose the band as the ones we prioritize to meet. So we never stopped playing after that.
Yeah, so for me, actually, in 2020, I was not in Puerto Rico. I was living in. So in Puerto Rico, there was like a lockdown, and people could only come out at certain times. Some people, but in Miami, nobody gave a shit.
Right.
And nobody, you just had to wear a mask when you went to places. But besides that, no. So I didn't experience like that full like lockdown mode. So In a way, I'm like, oh, thank God. But yeah, but a lot of bands like got inspiration and music out of that. Like from bad things, good things came out.
True. There was a lot of like YouTube home concerts. I think
Oh
like
yeah,
music was definitely a way for people to connect and use that as a social bonding platform when you can really meet up. And I guess it was partly that for us as well, because we did meet up on Zoom, and we never tried the Zoom rehearsal.
We did, but we talked about it though.
We talked
about it, but then there's a latency issue, you know, like we can't be playing a few seconds apart and so forth. But that was mainly when we were living in different cities, when you moved to another city for your studies. And
yeah, so we were living in different cities for a few years, and yeah, so it was actually until maybe 2 years ago when we were all back in Oslo that we were like, okay, now we need to actually make this album, and and since then it's been more consistent.
yeah, yeah. No, it's awesome that you guys are all in Oslo. Like when I went to Oslo, I love that opera house that you can walk in the ceiling of it. And I'm thinking one of your songs from this album, like please, people in Oslo, make it happen. Like you could like a music video that you play one of your songs on the top of that. I'm sure that that has to be difficult, but I don't know why. Like in the sunset, that would make like a great music video.
Right.
Yeah, I've actually never seen anyone do that before. I guess it has been done.
Must have been done, yeah.
Well,
it is a really cool.
Well, actually, I saw a concert once, but that wasn't at the top, but at the bottom outside of the concert.
I think I might be mistaken, but I think Justin Bieber had a concert on top of that.
That was the one I know.
No, I think actually it was.
But I guess it's more realistic for us to play on top of the opera house than inside of it, as of now. So I guess
playing like Embers or Red Sun on top of that, and the sun is coming up, and you're like guys are playing. That would make like a great video. Maybe you can do it without permits, and just when the cop shows up, you start running. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
Like the Beatles. What's it called, where they were playing on the top of the
on that was the Let It Be. But they did.
Have you seen the Beatles show where they're playing like on the rooftop and the cops come and you can try to recreate that moment?
Yeah, that was that happened to U2 when they did Where the Streets Have No Name, and I think also Limp Bizkit Nookie. They called the cops on them, but yeah. But you said that Justin Bieber played. I'm like, that's not metal. Like Justin Bieber.
Sorry to ruin that image.
You don't speak his name on this channel.
Like baby on top of that.
No, we'll take it to the idea bank, and if it ever happens, we'll be sure to mention you on the
you'll create
the thanks list.
Concept by
Concept by Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch. So yeah, that would be cool. And Sindre, you have a great name, man.
Thank you.
It sounds like you could be a villain in the Harry Potter franchise. And also, I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but when I was looking at you first, I'm like, is that Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange? You mean Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
I've actually heard that maybe from 2 people previously.
Well, that you look like him.
Yeah, I'm not completely. I do not completely agree, but I guess there are maybe some familiarities.
I do see it.
Something with the eyes or nose, or I don't know. But it's funny.
That's a compliment. He's a handsome guy.
Like Doctor Strange, and just like start giving autographs to people. Yeah.
And I've also been called Dr. Sindre, so that's maybe a coincidence.
But
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Oslo. I need to return to Oslo. I love that park that you guys have where you have the statues and there's the statue of the baby. Like,
Yeah, yeah. He was actually stolen a few years ago. Well, I think he's been stolen several
Was it
times.
stolen? Or wasn't it thrown paint on?
Oh yeah, it was thrown paint on. Yeah, wasn't it stolen as well? Oh well, I might be. Yeah.
what?
Don't use this as a. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, I think it was called beach. I don't something park. I'm gonna butcher the language. Maybe you guys can say it.
Frognerparken?
Yeah, or Vigelandsparken.
Vigelandsparken, yeah, that's maybe the sculpture part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great park. Also, when I went to Oslo, I had the pleasure of going to the record store that's very popular.
Or Neseblod, or they previously called Helvete.
Yeah, the one
Like
that
the black metal one.
the black metal one. Yes, I
Yeah.
went. I took a picture there. It was
actually burned. It burned down actually. Was it a year ago? There was a fire, a huge fire inside of the record store. Lots of old records were burned down. I'm not sure if it's opened again.
No, I don't think so.
Did Mayhem do it?
I think it was Varg, but
like that's no black metal. The black metal store burned down.
yeah.
It's quite ironic, actually.
What a way to go! But I went, and I was kind of afraid. I'm like, I wonder if they. What if I tell them I like Bon Jovi too? Maybe they'll be, oh, get out of here. But yeah, it's a cool place to visit. So let's talk about the EP Red Song. Let's do a track by track. So the first track of the EP is called Ashes. Tell me about obviously what the song is about and musically, like what you were trying to convey in that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the I don't do this as much justice. Try to explain it as it's Emil, our guitarist, is he's like the singer songwriter. He's written the track together with Per, and he's written out the concept of the EP. So the EP is kind of conceptually it's meant as
companion,
like a companion, the story continues from the album at a point at it's the fifth song of the album called Strangers, which is like a kind of like a we call it like a doomy kind of Ennio Morricone inspired song, which takes place at a desert planet, and the kind of the hero of the story or the protagonist finds himself stranded at this planet, which sounds like quite a famous science fiction story, right? So the concept of this song is kind of this being stranded at an alien planet, feeling alienated, not quite sure what's going on, and I think he meets this tribe at a point in the song, and that's where the main kind of theme of the song also comes in.
Yeah, and it's of course it's a very what you said, not concrete, but like there's a very specific story to both the album and the EP.
Yeah.
But then for Emil, it's all sorts of metaphors from things going on in his life, and
it's a spin-off. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, so it's a spin-off from the from the album. Yeah.
But yeah, the song starts off with it tries to give you that sort of like the desert feel, whatever that is, but sort of like there's something mysterious. It's a bit gritty. And then when he wakes up in the forest, it gets more and more progressive and harder. And then, yeah, he meets this desert tribe, which abducts him and takes him into their village. And then not sure how far we're going to delve into the concept, but then again, he spends a lot of time with this village, and
so yeah, so it's kind of this also the song without being a march. It has this marching kind of feel to it. In when the kind of main theme comes in, which is trying to kind of create this image of like quite a big pack of people coming in, and yeah.
And also, it's the first song because when we recorded our debut album, our kind of philosophy was everything was supposed to almost be played live in the studio, and we have 2 guitars, we have 1 bass, we have a drum set, and we have vocals. Like everything that you hear on the album should be done just by us, and not like 3 guitars at once, and yeah, not like 4 vocals if we're only 3 vocalists and and so forth. But on this EP, we decided to do a bit more like a modern approach, like give us a bit more freedoms to what we do production-wise, and also things doesn't necessarily have to sound exactly the same when we play it live and in the rehearsals, like as it is done on the EP. So we had actually a small choir to join us on this EP on the first and last track, Ashes and Red Sun. So then we had like a guest choir with 3 ladies and 2 men singing a very nice part, which I feel it enhances kind of the sound a bit more than just us who actually can't sing, you know, in the background, as backing vocalists. I'm not sure if you noticed or took note of the choirs, but
yeah,
it's a very like a majestic. It gets a very different feel.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned some of Pink Floyd. They use choirs in the Another Brick in the Wall and all those things. Obviously, it doesn't sound like that, but so is the second song Red Song or Embers? Because then I put Red Song as the second track. Maybe it wasn't put correctly in Spotify. So correct
No,
me.
It's correct. So it's Ashes. So it starts off very slowly, and then it gets quite heavy, and then it just like goes on from there. It never really breathes that much, or like there's no. It's just like one continuous song, and then after Ashes, then we get Red Sun, which is we wanted to write that like the desert themed EP should be like a bit heavy and heavier, like everything we think of when we think about the desert, but we also wanted to have a bit like a softer breathing element in between. So then we decided to write this shorter, like more straight to the point.
Yeah. Moving away from the spaghetti western theme a bit and going more into maybe a bit more. I would probably say that it might be Red Sun follows a more familiar pattern in terms of songwriting.
Yeah, and some people have also pointed out the similarities to Pink Floyd, like sound-wise, and also some of the chords. But then again, that's some of it is very intentional, like an homage, kind of. It's not from our point, at least. It's not didn't try to rip off any specific like song, but we just wanted to completely acknowledge that this song is like our Pink Floyd homage, and most of our listeners because most of our listeners also like Pink Floyd, so we got a lot of good feedback on it, but we have a few people and reviewers who were a bit like they went a bit too far.
It's a bit too similar.
A bit too Pink Floydy on this one, but then again, it's understandable critique. But that's what was our intention anyway. So I guess we succeeded.
We'll take it.
It's an influence. just as long as the band doesn't do a Greta Van Fleet, where the singer says like, "No, I never listened to Led Zeppelin," and I'm like,
Robert Plant too.
dude. Like, don't tell me you didn't listen to Led Zeppelin. It sounds like that. But yeah, no, Red Song is a good because it's a shorter track. And then you have the epic closer in Embers, which is like a longer track, like a 7.5 minute. And like you said, it's 3 tracks, it's 22 minutes, and it feels like a continuous track. But yeah, tell me a little bit about Embers.
Yeah, as well. So it's written, the whole EP is written kind of as one track, but of course there are 3 tracks. But we wanted to do something a bit weirder on this one.
Yeah, I think also what Emil wanted to create was because he's written the song, and I think he wanted to create something that could kind of become like it could be reminded like of a pop song in terms of the verse and then the chorus coming in, but still kind of really make the time signatures make you not quite understand what's going on, so you get kind of thrown off at the same time, but it also sounds familiar in some kind of way. So that kind of breaking point, that balance between something strange and surreal and something very familiar, and something that you can try to try to like finding the pattern of the song, and then as soon as you think you got it, then you get thrown off again and there's something new going on. So
So
I think, yeah,
so the song doesn't become like predictable.
Right, yeah, trying to make it unpredictable. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but also like what you said about the time signatures, like trying to make it interesting, like time signature wise, but also not too challenging to listen to. Like if you manage to like do different time signatures from bar to bar, but the listener doesn't necessarily have to notice because it goes like in a continuous flow. But then again, if you actually try to count and understand what's going on, then it becomes a bit confusing, I would say.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm bad at math.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, they're doing. I just.
It's also the when it there's some rock and roll elements before it comes into this ambient part with the chorus, and it's kind of just continuous like an ambient part. And again, part of that was trying to create this a bit like 70s sci-fi aesthetic. So
yeah, we had the sorry.
When you mentioned the Red Planet, I thought of like Doom or Dune. Right. Also, I thought of like that movie with Matt Damon where he's stuck on Mars, which is a book, by the way, The Martian. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or
we are huge Dune fans in the band, and it's has had some influence on some of the themes for sure.
So I want the artwork of the EP for people who haven't seen it, because you really captured the essence of the EP on this artwork. So here's the artwork. First of all, who did this artwork?
It's a Norwegian guy called Lars Kvernberg, really talented painter. So this is all paint with like oil. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but
it's all done by hand.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
So it's like when he's setting us sketches, like first like just with a pencil, and then starts painting, and then at one point he's like, this is how it is now. Should we do something about the background and so forth? But then again, he was like, if we do this, there's no way back, because he's painting over. So you cannot like we can't do 3 different versions after a point when he's almost finished. But we're really happy with this result. And then we also this is only a digital release for now, but then we are busily preparing our next EP, which will be a different sort of but also inspired from the or a continuation of the album, but more like forest centered, not the desert centered. So this artwork will just transition into a different, or the artwork of the next EP. So they will form just one image, which will be the actual cover for the physical release.
Awesome, yeah. And I love that. I love that it's an oil painting and it's really psychedelic. You look at it and and I like it that you didn't put the name of the band anywhere. You're just like, let's put the art, no name, and just let it be. And it's digital now. Where can people who want to buy this, where can they buy it?
They can buy it on Bandcamp for now, digital. But once it releases, or we have a pre-order and so forth for the physical release, we also have a shop on our webpage, Sykofant.com. So either there or Bandcamp.
Yeah, so the next EP is gonna be like in a forest planet. So you went from the desert planet in Star Wars, and now you're going to the Endor moon with
Right.
Well, it might also just be back to Earth, but then there are many ways to.
There might be like an Ewok popping up. Well, we'll see.
We might get into copyright issues.
God, those Ewoks. I used to like them as a kid, but they're kind of cute.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah,
maybe Doctor Strange will show up as well. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, where are you guys recording this from? Is this your house? Is this like a coffee bar?
No, this is my living room actually.
Oh, cool.
So this is Chill Dude on the Couch Volume 2.
Well, I like the background because it looks like you could be in like a coffee shop or something.
Yeah, I really enjoy the tiles.
Yeah, it has a cool look to it. So let's talk about the Oslo music scene, because obviously Oslo and Norway is a lot known for music, especially the black metal in the 90s. When I went to Oslo, it's a true story. The weekend I got there, it was the Infernus Music Festival. And I went, there was an app that I don't know if they still have that app, Visit Oslo. So when I got to there, it gave me like a pop-up, like there's a music festival. I'm like, I didn't know it. I asked them, I'm like, I want to know about the music festival. And they're like, Infernus? I'm like, yes. So it was pretty cool. I remember I saw the venue was like a bar. I'm trying to remember the name, but I just remember, the name escapes me. But it's
John D, maybe? Or
No.
Brugata?
No, that wasn't.
Vaterland.
The Inferno musical.
Because they're mainly centered around the bigger venues, but then Rockefeller and so forth. But
Vulcan.
Sorry?
Vulcan Arena or something.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of side events as well. But it's also always in the Easter, the Inferno festival. So you visited here at the time when basically everyone escapes from Oslo to go to their cabins, and everything is just closed except for the Inferno metal festival. But did you experience that there things were like quite not quite many people around except for metalheads?
Yeah, that was quite weird because that week the only people I saw were the metalheads, and I saw them. I went to the museum. There were the metalheads. They were even on the plane, and it was funny because when I was there with my ex-wife, and this guy comes and hugged me, and she's like, "Who the fuck do you know in Oslo?" I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe they recognized me from the plane or something." He's like, "Ah," but that show, the only bad thing is like you guys are all so tall, and I'm like 5'10", but you're like almost everyone is like 6 feet tall. So that's the only time that I'm in a show that I'm like I can hardly see because you are all so tall.
All right.
Yeah, we're quite tall in our band as well. And, when I go to concerts, I'm just like a moving problem. Like if I stop here, then the person behind me will
Yeah.
will be irritated. But then if I move like slightly to the side, then there's just a problem for another person, and then it's just never stops. So yeah.
But very friendly people. Very friendly people in Oslo. I had a great time. I
Oh,
need
nice.
to return, but maybe when it's warmer, because it was
Yeah.
Oh, you had bad weather during your stay.
it was cold.
Yeah.
I'm from the Caribbean, man. Any below 68 is cold to me.
Yeah.
What's that in degrees? 68
in Celsius.
Celsius.
Oh yeah, I know you do this in different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
we have
bit
a different system.
68 is
Yeah.
just a number, but but I guess in our summer, which is like starting sometimes in May or at least in June, July, then we have quite good temperatures.
Yeah.
Nice.
Luckily, because of global warming, Norway is also getting warmer. So
Goddamn global warming.
Yeah.
So how's the Oslo metal scene or prog scene right now?
Right now, well, you might be better equipped to answer that.
I'd say it's quite good. Like at least there are very many concerts in Oslo all the time. Like artists from abroad are visiting, and so I feel like there's almost like sometimes a bit too many shows to actually be able to see them all. So yeah, both money and just time, but the tickets are expensive these days. So yeah, it's you have to sometimes do like next week we're seeing Steven Wilson. I'm not sure if you like Porcupine Tree.
Yes, I like Steven Wilson. I wasn't a fan of his newer album. I did an album review, and I was like, it's not bad, but also I had my complaints with that record.
All right.
Okay.
But-
Have you made a review of it or?
Oh, the video is up right now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Do some jokes. It's quite funny.
All right.
So
Yeah, but then so we get a lot of like international artists, and also the Norwegian prog scene is also very thriving. Lots of, but they're kind of like not that well known, especially in like online. You will see like, oh, Norwegian prog is everywhere, but there are a lot of Norwegian prog bands that have been playing for like 10, 20 years, but they're like just playing just a small venues, not necessarily sold out, but there are constantly just something somewhere. Yeah.
Epros is from Norway, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but they are quite big. So they had like a concert recently, which is like they played 2 shows the same day or something. Yeah.
So prog isn't dead.
But they are one of the more successful Norwegian prog bands, I would say, like doing tours across the US and yeah.
Yeah, no, and the singer has a great voice. Yeah, no, I've seen that band. So yeah, I know there's some great music out there. So right now you guys are working on a newer EP. So the plans are that you're trying to put out that sometime this year?
Yes. So we spent most of the day today just trying to do the finishing touches on the writing of the EP, and then we'll start the recording. We were supposed to start recording just around now, but I think we'll make sure that we actually are completely finished or should say happy with the result, not rushing it, because we don't have any like deadline or labels nagging us, so we can actually just do it at our own pace.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll try to start recording in a few weeks, at least within a month or something, and then hopefully we will have the album with the both, because when the next EP releases, then we'll also release the physical, like the album of the both of the EPs. So sometimes this fall, yeah. At least that's the plan, but we don't have any dates yet, because first we have to record it, make like the final master, and then once that is done, we actually have to order the physical products and so forth, and then we'll have to wait and.
Yeah. So
we don't have to oversell it. Like we don't have to say like we have it by this date, and then suddenly we have to wait a month extra.
yeah, better to not say it's gonna be out this way. Just
Yeah.
where can people follow you so they can know when you're playing shows and know when the music is coming out?
Right, so we have our own web page that is constantly being updated, so you can find our shows there.
Yeah, and also we have a newsletter where you can sign up to, so you get notified by email, like instead of getting lost in the algorithms on the different platforms. So that might be like the most effective way of getting to know when at least something like shows or releases or something happens. We don't post like every day, like today we went on a hike, but like the news of what's going on, like in the Sykofant camp. But then of course Facebook, Instagram, we'll try to be more active on YouTube soon, like posting more like shows, clips from shows and rehearsals maybe, and Spotify of course. It's
yeah, most of our shows should be on there as well if you listen to our music. So that's Sykofant.com.
Yeah, and did I hear you correctly? And you said before that you went to IKEA, or I'm like, what? Or did I listen bad?
No, hikes.
Oh,
yeah, but it was just an example of a thing we wouldn't post or send you an email that we like compared to maybe like a story on different social medias. Like it can be whatever, but we don't spam going to IKEA or hike.
I was like, they went to IKEA. I'm like, why? Okay, but you're at IKEA giving people flyers. Listen to our band, or you store.
Yeah, like a mixtape.
Yeah. So pretty cool. Any upcoming shows you have soon?
Yeah, we have a few plans. So this summer we're playing at 2 festivals. One in one in July. That's in Denmark. Johnshine Festival, and then one in a little place outside Oslo called Kolbotn. That's a metal festival, and the festival is called Hellbotn.
Awesome.
With some great headliners.
Yeah, Enslaved is headlining at least, and it's like almost like a black metal festival. So it's we're like their alibi for just something. So something sweeter between all the blast beats, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys will be in the Prague Beauty Fest for all that black metal stuff. So yeah, so guys, it's been great to chat with you. So yeah,
likewise.
Couchers, Sykofant, the Red Sun EP is out now digitally, but soon watch their socials so you know when they have the physical copies. And I would recommend to anyone who loves some great progressive rock with some modern style. So yeah, I really enjoyed the EP, and I like the music. It's cool. So and for bands out there, Sykofant also wrote to me, and they sent us, and that's how we got together and how we did this interview. So if you got a band, send me your music. Be patient with me because I'm just it's a one-man Chill Dude on a Couch Productions. I do everything. I'm my promoter. I write my own scripts, and I do recordings. It's all me, and I have no sponsors, so it's all me. So, guys, anything you like to say to the people before we go?
To the people, no, just thank you for checking us out, and if you're ever in and that goes for you as well. If you ever come back to Oslo, then hit us up, and
we'll have to go get that burger.
Exactly, a burger and a glass of wine.
Fine. I might return. You know why I want to return to Norway? Because I just went to Oslo. I want to experience more of Norway. I want to see like the fjords. I want to see the borealis and stuff. Also, I would have to go when you can actually see them.
Right.
So I think it's when it's cold. So I'll have to wear like free.
Yeah, that's that's the thing. It's in the summer. It's just the sun never sets in at least in the northern parts of Norway.
I'll have to go when it's cold, and if I meet you guys and I have like 3 coats on, I'll be like this
Yeah.
because I have Caribbean blood. I'm from warm weather, tropical weather. Yeah. So, but thank you for joining me from Oslo to Puerto Rico. So, Couchers, check the band out, Sykofant. Great band, and you know they're an independent band. So, independent bands need people to listen to them so they can get bigger and get to more places. So, until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.